Oh, man. Everyone, welcome back to another episode. Episode 56, actually. This is a main episode. It's been a while.
Back another bowl.
Yes. And where we have RC back. Perfect, because short for roller coaster. And we just... No, we didn't technically necessarily celebrate on the day of, but we celebrated National Roller Coaster Day last Wednesday.
Indeed.
A little early, but thank y'all for being on. Thank y'all for coming on. Coming on. Thank you for joining the cast, listening. And RC's got to
appreciate ya.
We have a lot of news. There's gonna be another. That's a main episode, so we're just covering everything that's been happening, and yeah, we try to keep up. Because I literally, shit. There's so much shit.
Got a lot.
Shit, I guess, what happened that last Wednesday at King's Dominion? We went to King's Dominion. You went for the first time.
It was not the first time.
This year. Well, not this year, but...
I don't think so.
Yeah. I was gonna say this year, but,
But, it was cool.
Yep. We recently... Drunk Riders also recently had their 287th episode, 300 coming real quick, but they had it live, literally, in Cincinnati, with the Buzz Bars fam in presence. That we would have loved to have been there. It's a cast for the books. If you guys haven't listened to the Drunk Riders, listen to that cast, because oh my god, apparently there was some that had to be edited out. That's how crazy it was there. I know they're not really an editing cast. They just kind of go with whatever craziness that they say on there. So, yeah, that was definitely an all-timer. If you haven't listened to it yet, and at least for me, I will be at Wicked Awesome Stumble. RC is trying. It's looking likely. He's gonna be able to make that October 4th through the 6th. Lake Compounds, Six Flags New England. I think we're trying to hit a trail too, but mostly it's gonna be Lake Compounds and Six Flags New England. From that Saturday and Sunday, I think, correct? So,
Friday through Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. If you're a Buzz Bars member listening and you didn't know, go ahead and check that out on the website or what's ever happening in the Discords. Get interested, get involved. I know there's a good amount of people basically definitively going from the sheet that I saw. So I'm excited to end the year. Basically, that's going to be one of the last bigger trips for sure of my tenure this year with the Buzz Bars fam, and be able to go to a park I've never been to before, a region I've never been to in general.
New creds.
Actually, no, I've been to Boston for a gaming tournament, and honestly, the city of Boston is very pretty. Expensive as fuck, but very pretty.
Some of the worst sports fans. Sorry, guys.
That's what I've heard too. So, NFL, I guess Boston is Patriots, but
yeah,
Patriots fans are nowhere near as bad as Sox or
Celtics.
Or let's say Celtics. So who's the hockey team?
Bruins.
Let's say.
It's all bad. Sorry, guys. I just
okay, but don't the Pirates, for hockey at least, take the cake on
the Pirates in hockey? What? I don't think there's.
Excuse me, not the Penguins. My bad. No, not the Penguins.
Oh,
this just shows how little I care about hockey. I'm so sorry, hockey fans.
I suppose as a Capitals fan, yeah, the Penguins take the cake.
Okay, I've heard that. Okay, I've heard the Canes, the Hurricanes. Those fans are horrible. But it could be specific fan bases against specific fan bases. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But honestly, because I was trying, because at the end of the hockey season last year, I was somewhat the most casual service level into what was going on, because I had friends that I was talking.
The Canes made a playoff run this past season.
Yeah, and then their fans were very vocal about other teams at the events. It wasn't just online talk. At the events. And yeah, that's not cool. To be honest, the only other time I felt that way was in Philly whenever I went to Lincoln Financial. And yeah, as a Commanders fan, no. Even when they come here, bro, like it's like that's the only times I'm seeing fights. Not even Cowboys.
Brotherly love, city of brotherly love, right there.
Not even Cowboys and Commanders fans are fighting. You know, they're giving each other shit, but and obviously there's clips out there of them fighting. But I'm just saying, whenever I went, it was basically guaranteed that if there was Philly in town, this shit's going down. At least 3 fights, random scuffles, parking lot, in front of the drinks, and in the actual blood, like the nosebleeds. Like you're seeing fights.
Wow.
No, I don't know. For me, it's like you're literally looking at people play something. I don't know how you can get that turned up into wanting to
like catch a charge, bro. Like what?
Literally, like
bro,
in front of your kids and all that shit. Like that's so.
Yeah. Come on.
Shit's beyond me, to be honest. Cause look, all I'm saying is, and I'm going off of what I care about the most right now. If I can't think it's a good correlation. I guess if Kings Dominion were to tear down 305, and then there's people on the other side of that saying, "Good, it should have happened."
That's like okay. I get what you're saying.
I'm not fighting them for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like you're like, stupid, and I'm disagreeing with you.
You can translate like the rage.
Yeah,
right?
like.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like if someone's like, "Oh, my team just lost a heartbreaking loss," and then the opposing guy is like, "Ha ha, your team, that guy sucks. This guy sucks." They're just beating in on the wound, like.
Right.
I mean, shit. Who knows what alcohol and people's emotions and pent up teen angst that they still haven't gotten rid of over the years, and midlife crises might be leading to all of this. But personally, I'm I can't see me throwing hands for any particular reason. Like,
always got to be careful. Never know who's about to crash out.
No, seriously. Like, and I'm glad streamers are getting to that point too, because they've been doing the most devious shit to people. Like, I forgot what it was. Like, one guy was essentially going around and just putting people in camera's face. I forgot what he was asking exactly, but he was saying, he was like, "Oh, do you see yourself?" I guess it was something like, "Do you see yourself along the lines of like dating or alone forever or whatever, or an incel or whatnot?" Basically, just like, you don't just walk up to someone with a camera and ask them a question like that. And then the guy literally just crashed out on both of the people and was like, like the cameras dropped, but all you just hear is them getting beat the fuck up. Like, you just don't know who you're messing with nowadays. They could literally be the Tasmanian devil underneath that human shell that you're seeing.
That's a good one. Taz.
And that's all you're hearing before your face is getting stomped out. Like, you know, it's really a shame they haven't added any That's such an easy thing. Actually, translates into coasters here. That's such an easy thing to throw in as like a spinning ride or even like a crazy twisted like family coaster.
No. Hold on. You cannot tell me that of all the Six Flags parks, there's not anything themed to Taz.
I don't see any. Maybe outside of Six Flags, but I don't.
Taz's Typhoon. Taz's Tornado. I'm looking at it.
Oh, Taz's Tornado. Okay.
Discovery Kingdom and Fiesta. Yeah.
2 rides though.
Oh, and America has something that looks like
Taz's Tornado, Tasmanian Devil, Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and Six Flags Fiesta. And Taz's Typhoon. Okay, did they rename it? No, they have
That's
2.
That's a good question.
They have 2 Taz. Actually, okay. Discovery Kingdom went too far. It has 2 Taz rides in their park. So
it wasn't a complete missed opportunity.
No, I think there should be more Taz, because it's like, put them on an aggressive wooden coaster, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, name it after Taz. They should have named Bobcat Tasmanian Devil or something. That could have worked out too. Family, we'll put quotes with family gravity group. I just think that it's a small gravity group at this point, from what I'm hearing from the reviews, because that thing sounds like it slaps. And yeah, from hearing they're on the Drunk Riders like earlier this year, hearing how excited they were to even get that out, even though technically it wasn't an original layout. It had, besides near the end. Like, they were really excited to get it out there and have people ride it. So, I honestly transitioning real quick on a Gravity group. So, they had Corey Keeper, who is an engineer from Gravity Group, on The Wired to answer questions from Twitter about roller coasters. And actually, a few people I know from the community was actually put on there. Shout out to Jay Coasters. Go check out his YouTube. But the very last question was definitely an enthusiast one. and they, I don't really care about Odyssey. I might just listen to this last part because it was so good. But essentially, Corey was asked a question about how much steel plating on a wooden coaster does there need to be before, at that point, when is it not a wooden coaster anymore? So if you guys have known us at all for the past year, you would know. Yeah, coaster touring. So yeah, I definitely know him on the Twitter side at least. I think they're also on Instagram. I think Marcus is his name, but they definitely asked the last question here that Wired put up, and yeah, if you've known anything what we've said last year, we were so upset about Titan Track going on, or even RMC 208 Retrak going on Mind Blower. Predator getting it, even though we've heard it's doing okay, I guess, for the ride. Mixed opinions. Especially the main thing, though. Fucking Boulder Dash the last 2 years. Because now, at this point, I'm say, I almost want to call it a hybrid. Because there is a good bit of it. I don't know if it's have it yet, but like I said before on Coaster Heat, like, why would they get that there, but then they say, oh, Wildcat will get pre-cut track? Oh, that makes me so mad. Oh, but for us, we've always said these hybrids are taking over. We need wooden coasters, make wooden coasters great again. And Corey, he obviously might be a bit biased as he works on them, but he has his own take. Let's see what he says. Shout out to The Wired for having, honestly, this niche little thing beyond their, because I know they have a lot of different stuff on their tech. Pretty cool segment. Let me open up a new tab to see exactly, because I feel like I've seen a lot of different celebrities talking about different, like Miranda Cosgrove was on there last month. Halle Berry was on there. Like Jeremy Renner, Will Ferrell. Yeah, and this is all within the last month. They've had all these people. So you can imagine throughout the years.
Lando Norris?
Yeah, Lando Norris, Idris Elba. Lando and Oscar? Well, how'd I miss that? I need to watch that one. The whole cast of Fallout? Yeah, they do the most Googled thing. That's what I know this for. The most Googled. They'll have a lot of celebrities come on after a big movie and see the most Googled answers or questions about said movie or character or IP. So yeah, the fact they had that about for roller coaster engineers, and it's doing pretty well, like 100,000. Even Halle Berry 6 days ago it's already lapsed, and it's not even 100K yet.
Wow.
So John Cena, we were getting close to John Cena numbers, right? And Aquafina. They were on there 2 weeks ago, 145, or a day ago. This was posted at 130. This hobby's not small. Y'all, this hobby is not small. I'm sorry. It's not. I can't say it's niche anymore, is what I'll say. Like, especially when you're looking at these accounts, like the big accounts on Instagram and shit. Is 1 million like a pop for some of these, or close, like hundreds of thousands niche to y'all? I'd say that it's a minority hobby. Not known, it's not like up there, but it's definitely, it's part of traveling. It's definitely a part of traveling. But on to the actual Corey here, where he gives his own thoughts about coaster touring's question here. Hold on, let me unmute. But
doing all we can to keep rides open as much as possible. At coaster touring, how thick does the metal running plate on a wood coaster have to be before it's a steel coaster? I think what Marcus is getting at is
He
see,
brings
on
out the
top, I
frickin'
have this,
slab,
like,
dude.
Yeah, he brings out the whole slab,
great.
bro. Oh, I thought that was so good.
little bitty
Bro.
layer of steel, you know, maybe it's like 3/8 of an inch thick or so. There are some rides where they're replacing this wood, you know, with more and more steel to the point where some of it, they keep the form factor, the shape that you might see on a wooden roller coaster, but it's really not made of wood anymore. Once it becomes something that's just cosmetic and not there for structural value, it's no longer a wooden roller coaster. It's a hybrid. All right, well, thank you.
Ooh.
I had to take a hit to that. I'm sorry. Like, that was that's what we've been touting for the past year. Like, it's just you're taking away the wood aspect. It's just a hybrid. RMCs already have running rails, steel. It's basically as small, they're not as small as like a running rail on a steel track or a wooden track, obviously, but they're obviously inspired. And they marketed them as hybrid coasters, steel hybrids, wooden supports. Outlaw Run is a wooden, because it's fully wood as running rails. Lightning Rod, not anymore. Lightning Rod is a hybrid to me. There's just too much iBox on there for me to call it all a wooden coaster, or even a hybrid wooden in that sense. It's just a hybrid steel.
Fair.
And honestly, they probably should just put iBox on the rest of it. Because if you were saying it's still rough in those valleys, then yeah, and that's still where the wood is. But yeah, thank you, Corey. It'd be awesome to have you on the cast one day. That'd be actually sick. To just talk about wooden coasters, the whole philosophy behind them. Because obviously we're standing here, and is Gravity Group your favorite manufacturer, or is it Intamin?
You said manufacturer or like wooden manufacturer?
In general, like overall.
Intimate.
Okay. Yeah, I still think for me, GG, they are the best. I appreciate they're the best. But I can definitely see, like, Intimate's probably second, if I were to choose. But I know I stand for Gravity Group. Like, I know it's like, maybe, like, Kentucky Flyer isn't the best. I still like it a lot for some reason.
I think it's
CCS.
Intimate and then RMC for me.
Ravine Flyer 2,
And
like,
then the
Mind
Woodies.
Blower. See, I want to put GCI higher, but I need more GCIs. But generally speaking, it's like, they're an extension of CCI, and CCI is up there with my top manufacturers, even though they're defunct. Yeah, I just loved what they did with wooden coasters. I mean, shit. You already know, we love wood here. No phrasing. But, yeah, go and check out the rest of this video on Wired. Because it's a whole 15 minutes, basically, talking about just questions from Twitter. Some of them are obviously questions you might know, but the way he describes them are just interesting, and how you might learn, get something from it. And there's things that are actually from enthusiasts, like what Jake asked, and I'm not going to tell you the answer, but why do all inverts, like, why do they have a curved drop? Would it be too uncomfortable or feel weird or something to not have a curved drop? That type of stuff, but go ahead and check it out. It was awesome they did that. But anything you got going on here else that isn't coasters, isn't I guess the status quo for the guys, but I guess tangents are the status quo anyway, so.
Nah.
Alright.
I'm zooted.
Yeah, same. I'm getting there. I'm like at a 3.5 right now in Rising, so. Yeah, so also don't forget, the last thing I'll say before we get into the news here is we recorded a bonus with Coaster Heat. Have them come on and spend a little bit, and also celebrate National Roller Coaster Day and the people we meet throughout. And it was a damn near 3 hours. Somehow just keeps up with this cast. We're trying not to shoot for this episode, but who knows at this point. We're already 20 minutes and we haven't even talked about the news yet. Coasters, but not the news. So
it's typical. It happens.
Yeah, but all right, go check out that bonus. We got bonus book content coming out this week, so don't forget that. And yeah, we're just gonna get into this with. I can't believe the second was the second. This was the beginning of August. August is already over, bro. Oh my. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, just as time just passes by, and apparently it gets worse as you get older too. Like yeah. What's the news here? So this made my jaw drop. What was it? I think it was Toothless flying over Epic Universe. Which, did you see this?
Looking at it right now.
Like,
That looks incredible.
what the fuck? So what we're looking at right now.
I imagine the scale is much bigger when you're, in the presence of it.
Obviously, yeah, like. And so what we're looking at right now is from the distance. The person is sorry for the shaking. I wish they could have zoomed in, to be honest, but it's cool. It's cool. I get it. I don't know what they were recording on. It's clearly not a. It might be a phone, but I just think phones now have like good stabilization to get rid of that. But it's fine.
Looks like it has some sort of mouth effect. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We're looking at like this kites or dragon thing flying in the sky in Orlando. And you're probably like, what? No, it's not a UFO. But literally, it looks like it looks to me like Toothless. Like they're play testing a Toothless. I can't even describe to you what this is. Kite / animatronic / drone. Like,
Very, very interesting.
Generally, bravo Universal, because this is the first time I've been jaw dropped with like something in a while, and it wasn't a Disney like Imagineering technique or something. Well, okay, I will say the animatronics at the Jurassic World in Universal Japan. Is it Japan or is it Beijing? I need to remember which one it was, but wherever they have the new Jurassic World ride with the moving big ass dinosaur chasing you. Yeah, that looks incredible. I need to find which one it is though. References. Not Jurassic River Adventure. Let's look up Japan. Yeah, it's in Japan.
You talking about flying dinosaur? Or?
No, it's Jurassic.
Universal Studios Japan, Jurassic Park the Ride.
So there's another one. It's Beijing. Yeah, it's that one. That one is the one where it's a dark ride, not a water ride, and it follows you around, like this big ass animatronic, like at least 15, 20 feet tall.
Ooh.
And I'm just like, that was the only other. That was like 2019 though, where I was like, holy shit, holy crap. So bravo, because that flying kite animatronic thing, like we said, imagining being in the park, you're gonna see a big dragon above you. Now, what happens if it breaks or it punctures and it has to fall down? Will there just be a big hulking thousands of pounds on guess? Or is it actually
I don't know. 1,000 seems kind of like a stretch.
I mean,
But
you have to have some mechanics, right?
That would be bad. Yeah.
Hundreds of pounds.
That would definitely be bad.
We'll say hundreds of pounds.
Definitely hundreds, possibly.
Gosh.
That would not be good. It's definitely because I did see something in the comments about like FAA or something. So, but if they had permission to test it, obviously.
Yeah, I mean.
So something is in the works here. It looks very interesting.
I mean, the rumor is that they're essentially you're going to be in the Isle of Berk or even just flying, or like not flying, but
Like imagine having just like a bunch of dragons like flying around and like you're in the Isle of Berk. You know?
right,
That'd be
or like
crazy.
you're walking towards it and you just see like dragons flying, like,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be like sporadic. So you might see, Toothless. You may see another one with Toothless, and it may be like two others, but not Toothless. It may
It'd
be
be
all three of them.
be interesting if they had it to where once you like walked through that archway or whatever is when you would actually be able to see these, kites or whatever they are potentially flying around, and you actually can't. You're like your vision of them would be obstructed in any other area of the park. I don't know how immersive exactly it'll be, but and then obviously in this, clip, it seems to be flying, quite high, not necessarily low to the ground. So, or low to the park ground where the guests would be.
Regardless, Universal, keep doing what you're doing, but I will say, I would not be surprised if it gets close to Disney pricing soon. Cause let me tell you, it's not looking. Prices that have you looked at prices recently? Because I know you're going to Universal soon.
I've looked and seen how expensive Disney is recently. Yes, I have not
Disney?
checked Uni. Yeah, I haven't checked Universal.
Well, let's go check right now. Why not? 'Cause we're talking
Disney
Universal.
for one day for four is like $1,200. So,
That is 1 day for 4.
and that's just to have like park hopper plus parking and like individual lightning lane or whatever it is called now, lightning lane plus.
All right. I don't understand how people find the money.
Yeah.
This is taking a long time to load, Universal.
You talking about park tickets to uni or annual
Yeah.
passes?
Park tickets. I just went to buy and buy ticket. It's taking like 300 years to load. Just reset the app. It's still taking a long time. Okay, well, I was just sitting here and waiting for it to load. What other Universal news happened? I feel like quite a few things has happened. Finally loaded. But small things will get out of the way. Delirium opened at KD.
About time. That thing was sitting dormant for a while.
Yeah. So now there's only one more ride at King's Dominion that is down. Because I went the other day, everything was actually open at the park besides Eiffel Tower. So we just need that open, and
They got the Whitewater Canyon operating.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, also, let's do better than treat cast members like shit. Because this isn't a small thing here. There's a TikTok going around, or was going around, of a man yelling at cast members, getting irrationally, saying, "Oh, this is how I talk." And it's like, no, you don't talk to people this way. If you talk to people that way, you need a therapist or some medication, because being upfront and like that with your child next to you, rude and just condescending, yelling, degrading a human is just not ever okay. I understand frustration, but unless it's like I said, obviously, like, something was done wrong to him. But in this situation, it's clear that, like, he is the aggressor. Please, let's do better in that aspect. A whole bunch of D23 stuff, which were, Jesus, yeah, we gotta cover that.
I definitely think it's. I saw a good statement somewhere that was like it's a good judge of character how you treat customer service workers and like just employees. Like it's like fun. Like it's just fucked up. Let's look at the clip. So right now a 1 day 2 park. So Islands and Universal Studios Florida starts at 174. So
Wait, where are you
I guess
seeing
it's
that?
like just on the website for just one day.
3-day ticket.
Yeah, I'm not looking at like multi-day. I'm just saying in comparison to what I was looking at with Disney.
Why
and
can't
all
I can't even find a 1 day.
that. It obviously fluctuates by date, so some days more expensive, but it's still loading. So yeah, no, I mean it's definitely going up. Going up.
Great, now this filter's gonna take. God, their app kind of sucks. At least on my end, it's sucking. Fun Spot America. Well, they're getting.
What are like?
So
what
they're
are they
getting actually. Atlanta is getting something, but I think the Orlando parks are teasing something.
So the 13th of October or the 13th of September?
October.
Because I wonder if they're. It's possible they're talking about the 13th because it's Friday the 13th on September 13th, but I don't know.
Okay, hold up. Hear me out. I just found 1-day ticket. You visit one park.
Yeah,
So-
it's like starts at 120 or something for one park, but two parks starts at 174.
That's okay. Honestly, I feel like people are gonna be like, "Oh, if you don't like the rides there, that's cool." For me, I like a lot of the rides there. 120,
Yeah,
and
I
I
mean-
just go to islands. That's kind of
Right.
fun.
Yeah. No, realistically, you can just get just go to islands. Like I would honestly do that.
And then you just pay 50 more, and then you get to take Hogwarts Express, ride Mummy,
Like,
and
I'll be real with you. I would legitimately go there for like I'd buy a 3-day ticket just to islands, and
Yeah.
not even go to Studios side.
Studios is
care.
one of my least favorite parks ever right now. And I really wish it used to not be that way. Like, I can't think of any, like, generally, like, there are no rides there I want to go back to besides Mummy. And it's, like, not even that much of a, it's like a bonus in my eyes when I go to, when I go to islands, in my opinion. It's like, oh, I'll run over to Mummy.
Like, it'd be cool if I had a pass and just, showed up and got to lollygag and do some of the rides I don't do all the time, but otherwise, like, if I'm actually just going on a trip, I'd rather just go to islands the whole time.
I mean, that's basically what we did anyway. The only reasons that we went before was because either I needed credits or, like, we were just, me and Alex would be booling around and say, why not? We're going to ride E.T.,
Yeah.
Baked, or do Simpsons Baked, like...
Dude, like, and Universal's website was being so slow. I'm just...
Oh, yeah, you were having trouble, too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
it was being extremely slow, so I actually closed the browser, because, yeah.
So, 2-day ticket, move freely between, $150. That's honestly not bad.
What was it?
2-day ticket and move freely between
For...
islands and Universal Studios.
But it's like 300, not 150.
What do you mean? That says adult starting from 146.
Oh, for a 2-day?
A 2-day, yeah. 2 days, 2 parks, multiple parks per day.
Damn. That's kind of I didn't... What? How is it 175 for a 1-day? But what did you say it is for a 2-day? 150 for a 2-day?
2-day, 2 park. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, 1 day move. What the fuck is this? What are they doing right now? Hold up. Let me see. Let me look at the details because when I looked at the dates of oh no, I went all the way back. Oh no, I think I went too far back. But I gotta wait this long as load time now, basically. But
I'm so like in disbelief. I gotta pull it up again.
But when I click on the dates, it was like it was definitely not. It said starting at 146. Like it could be as low as that. But there was like 1 day out of like the next month, that was 148. So I gotta refresh the whole app again. But as we continue to look at that, I just want to look at one more thing, really. But did you ever go to Sawyer's Island?
No, I don't understand the hype. I don't.
Well,
I mean,
people
maybe
say they
I
like
did,
the
but I don't know.
people say they like the fact they can be. It's a way to get away from the park, and it's a nice views. And I'm like, they said they're still doing nice views. Like, what do you guys? Look, people are just gonna be doing the same thing for every generation in Disney. They're gonna fall in love with something. It's gonna stay there for a certain amount of time. They're gonna get rid of it because even Walt himself said the park is always gonna be changing. Parks always change. If things just stayed the same, parks would be ass. They just would be. They would never remove whatever could be better. They would just keep horrible attractions that shouldn't exist. Or should, let's be real. Or parks will change. And I know it's nice. You will be upset with things. Shit, we were really upset with Volcano when that got taken down, but we're not all of a sudden saying, "Oh, King's Dominion's going under." I mean, maybe for a bit, for some people were thinking that, but personally, me, I was like, "Look, we just got Twisted Timbers that same year, and that ride was great. The ride is amazing." So
change is inevitable. Say la vie.
Especially when it's like, I'm sorry, you just walked in a nice view, a nice quiet area. Like, that's, maybe I see theme parks and amusement parks differently, right? But I'm gonna say something else after I say this, but you generally want that kinetic energy. You want constantly to be people to be seeing attraction. Now, you want them to find things, but that seems to me is like, why isn't that attractions there? If that park's already struggling with capacity and where they can build, even they shouldn't be, but they want to keep a certain length without having to expand. Then to me, that's a perfect plot in the land. Now, what they're adding there, what we'll get to later, is a little different. But I still think the views is going to be kept, and that's what most people are worried about. And what I was going to continue on and say, I wish that there were more places like that in parks, but not taking up so much space. Because there are people that do need a break from the sensory overload, some people may call it, that happens at parks, because it is a lot. Yeah, maybe not like a whole acre or two of well, who knows? Maybe the size of the park they need it. Magic Kingdom's the most visited park in the world. I cannot believe what's wrong with the Universal site right now, man.
Yeah, I mean, well, I looked and it was like, you were right, but it was like 146 per day, so most of it would be 300 something for 2 days.
Oh, per day.
It's per day.
And then the other one was 174 per day.
Yeah, it was starting at 175 per day for just.
So it ends up adding up to be almost the same. So they had these promos though where it was get 3 days, get 2 free, but that doesn't make sense because you're definitely still paying more.
Well, it's just and then you're going for 5 days, and then it's you could just buy an annual pass at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, if you live next to these parks, you're lucky. You're a lucky one. Because
so
yeah,
we missed this,
what?
but also for National Roller Coaster Day, there was another event for trimless night rides on the voyage.
Oh no, yeah, we it was second chance to get that. Yeah, I guess it's smaller news there, but second chance to get that for the voyage enthusiasts or the coast enthusiasts in general. I did see that you definitely wanted to try to get the Hollywood Nights because they definitely opened the basement.
Yeah,
With the
I did see
Cattlepins.
that it was a more crowded event. I saw a vlog and they like closed the line an hour early for Voyage or something because it was like an hour wait. So
Yeah, they closed it at 9:20.
yeah,
I heard it from Biff himself because it happened to him. The Buzzbar was walking up for the last rides and they literally cut the chain off right there in front of him.
bruh,
Yeah.
that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Um,
That's a bad feeling.
and that's the thing is like I know Holiday World does that, but Paul didn't, and he was not happy because you know you go to Kings Island, Kings Dominion. We literally were running to 305 when it was like 9:59, like still getting on the last train. Which we honestly I do kind of want to talk about that. That was sick seeing James, Timmy, and Jalen again.
Oh yeah.
We were able to
That
hang
was
with
good
them.
time.
Thank you for all the rides on 305. Also, you should send them. You should send them that and be like, "Hey, there's these people riding it all these times. You should take away that policy. Appreciate you." I'm just kidding. But no, those rides were awesome. Yeah, I was like, yeah, it looks like it's running mid, but it was running like amazing. Twisted Timbers, Green Train is the way. Green Train, yes. I got my Green Train rides again, and okay, but also little shitpost here. If you see a lifeguard at a ride that you care about being stabled at, don't try not to get the lifeguard up.
And they did us wrong.
Dirty.
That was bad.
Like, I have never been that stapled in a while on Twisted. That was like I literally struggled to get to my seatbelt after the ride. And it's just not cool, man. But otherwise, everything else running great. Oh yeah, 305, man. I still want to go back before the year's end. I kind of just want to see how much I can whore it before it becomes a problem. But I was still feeling good after the rides we were doing at the end of the night.
Yeah, I know I had a headache, but 305 was definitely going good.
But I'm just trying to see if there's anything legit small. Like, yeah, Georgia Goliath is getting a new paint job. What do you think of the paint job? They're actually kind of taking away, I feel like, the look of it, in my opinion. Because it used to be orange and turquoise. You know, the sports turquoise track was orange, and now the trains will still be different colors, but they're going with turquoise track and gray supports. And
This will be a bit more of a lasting colorway, I feel.
And I heard a lot about Coaster Fest, actually, because I had friends that were attending there. Pay and Brian had an opportunity to go because obviously it was in Georgia, Six Flags of Georgia. So definitely took the opportunity to do it. They did the, I forget which, they did the Goliath lift walk. And they say they basically don't understand how a mechanic would do that every single day. Because they said their legs were, like, when I talked to them yesterday, their legs were still hurting, and this was from Saturday. They're like, we're gonna need to see, like, a massage therapist or something at this point, because, like, and I was like, god damn. But no, for me, I was wondering what Pay said. He was like, was the height still an issue for you? Because, like you said, you're like, you're strapped on to something. The height shouldn't be an issue. He said, no. He's like, he said it was the worst thing for him, because he was, not only was he tired, he was scared as hell. I'm like, oh. I'm like, yeah, that. And it's like, I'm pushing myself to go somewhere I don't want to be and I'm tired. It's like, once I got the pictures and everything, it was great. But his legs were literally destroyed from that. But they also were able to attend a lot of these Q&As and stuff from the park president, which I'm going to get the stuff that's off the top of my head that I remembered. Cedar Fair came through. They've met Cedar Fair, like, all the people that are running Six Flags now. They looked like Goliath, and they said, "Oh yeah, repainted immediately."
I like that.
So that's why the repaints. Like this, apparently the president was very very transparent. He said that they were very not happy with these rides that were not finished for the year and these hand-me-down attractions. He quoted that they said. This is coming from my friend who was there, and what the park president was saying. When they came through, he called Flash, Vertical Velocity, and Georgia Surfer hand-me-down attractions.
Well, I wonder what other changes are going to happen at the other parks, you know, like drastically and quick,
Right.
if this is happening. And it kind of sounds, you know, word of mouth, like Cedar Fair just walked in and was like, oh yeah, F this is happening. It's like repaint right away. And that's cool.
And they said, like, yeah, if you're not gonna open it this much, just don't open it at all. And
Yeah.
so that's why they said, okay, that's why we're not opening. And they said they weren't happy with the theme either. Which I'm like, oh, go figure. Yeah, it's not good.
Hand-me-down attractions is pretty dang funny.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to get Brian's. Hold up. I'm gonna jump in literally right now. Hold up.
Oh, when they press the lift hill, it kind of goes.
Yo.
What kind of goes down? Cause y'all go down that part.
Am I jumping into anything important right now?
Huh?
Am I jumping into anything important right now?
Well, we just talking about them lift hill walks.
Oh, perfect, because we're live on the cast right now.
Oh snap!
Oh wow.
And
Before we continue, Brian, you said that was a yes.
No, the employees were like they had an employee in the front and an employee in the back, and everyone else was in between. So the employee in the front, they went on the part where it starts dropping, like where it starts.
Okay.
Those stairs are. Yeah.
Now, if allowed, would y'all have gone down though that part?
I would have. It wasn't bad.
Want to get it
I was just
back.
tired.
okay, I just need it from you two. Brian, were you scared when you were up there?
Believe it or not, no. It was just, but I will say it's a one and done for me though, because when I say you cannot be an avid smoker or a drinker and do that shit, like it's not gonna work. The next lift hill I will walk is probably Kid Flash Cosmic Coaster. That shit really let me know I was out of. Yeah, and but once I got up there, oh my god, it was beautiful though.
Well, I will say this though. I mean, that's not a normal thing to do every single day unless you are a mechanic for a roller coaster. So I wouldn't feel too bad at the fact that a lot of people got winded. Like me personally, I'd be like, if I'm huffing and puffing by the time I get all the way up there, I'm not gonna feel that bad for myself. Just because, I mean, it's like who gets to do this?
Yeah, it was dope though. Once I got at the top, yeah, like Lauren is saying, like it didn't even matter no more. I was like, wow, and we were up there like maybe 10 to 15 minutes, getting all types of like aerial footage and stuff. It was beautiful.
Nice.
And pay for you said your legs are still hurting, but both of your legs are still hurting.
Mine too.
Yeah, legs are hurting. Yeah, I would say probably a little more than halfway up there, they turned the linguine.
Nah, I know the Stairmaster
My
is
thighs really
crazy,
feel
so
like
that
they
makes
have
sense.
been beaten into breast cutlets.
I can't. So, Pay, you said you were scared and tired. So,
Yeah, I was scared and tired.
because I was telling RC, like, I couldn't be doing these up walks myself because I'm like, I would be scared.
Pay was sweating like James Brown on that.
Like that one meme when he rising up.
Oh my god.
Now, real quick, I really just needed to know everything that you heard from the park president. That was because I covered that basically that he was not happy with Cedar Fair, or Cedar Fair was not happy with their additions at all, and the theme, and that they immediately walked in and said repaint Goliath. But is there anything else that I missed?
Yeah, definitely. From what we know, Cedar Fair was not happy, of course, with Goliath. They did say that going forward, any large rides that they build, or something that's higher up, would totally blend in with the tree line. I guess that's a look that they're going for. They say that Over Georgia was had a very bright future. As far as like capital investment, so that's good. It's always good to hear. And Kid Flash, they still don't know what they're gonna do with it. It's not looking good, but so definitely glad to get those rare credits. And of course, we know that the Surfer is delayed, which apparently Cedar Fair said that they were wanting to add more scenery to it, so that's good. And apparently, I think this is probably the one of the kickers, is that Cedar Fair was not happy with the purchase of the Surfer and Flash at Great Adventure, calling them hand-me-downs. So, I mean, but hey, they're obviously here now. They just gotta, get them open. So,
So that's everything. Basically, all the juice the president gave.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a lot of juice. Other than like some train refurb and stuff, including Goliath, and of course Goliath's paint job is supposed to be $1 million.
I mean, I bet better last more than 5 years without seeing some bird shit or anything.
It hasn't been painted in the almost 20 years it's been up, so I think that's probably what they going
Oh, wow.
It's never been.
So are they changing the color scheme, or they're just...
Totally.
Yeah, it's turquoise and gray now, which is, in my opinion, a downgrade, but maybe they, like they said, they wanted to blend in and be more of a sleek and clean look. Like, okay.
It could work, I feel like, if the turquoise is light enough and it not be like a teal. Like, if it looks more like the turquoise on the trains, I think it'll be fine. It'll be a nice, bright turquoise. But the only thing that I find weird is that Georgia Scorcher is in the front of the park, which is red, also with gray supports. And and Goliath literally, goes over the Scorcher. So it's just going to be a lot of gray.
Maybe there'll be a lighter gray than Georgia's. Because Georgia Scorcher, ain't that a darker gray?
It has a darker gray. But
it's going to be lighter.
Yeah, but gray, white, and black, they'll just change the saturation of the brightness and make all these different technical colors and schemes, but it's still black, gray, and white.
Essentially. And I'm like, that almost gives me depression. If you think about, you're driving into the park and all you see is freaking gray over you. Like, looks like a gray sky. But I don't know.
Well,
What type of gray, though? Because when I think of gray, I think of like if it's like a slate gray or a lighter gray, I think that'll be a prettier color.
Yeah.
Well, I just needed that real quick with y'all. Thank you for the information. You're on the cast now, impromptu, but go ahead and follow BCS at Black Coast Society on Instagram, Facebook.
And letting us on.
And obviously, if you haven't listened to the episode yet, the recent one covering the annual, go ahead and give that a listen.
Please.
But y'all, catch y'all later. We're not in the cast, but I'm leaving this call, so.
Good night, Ohio Westland.
All right, East. All right, West.
All right, so yeah, we got it from there, from the people that attended Coaster Fest, what it was like, live. Yeah.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
And hand-me-downs.
I was like, God damn, Cedar Fair, like. They're acting like they were that much holier than Six Flags. I mean, I guess honestly, in like the baseline, sure, because the fact that their construction schedules really were getting to the points where they were, like, did we forget Aquaman just opened 3 years after? It's a spike. It's like a 900-foot coaster, not even. it's a water coaster. You know, like, why is it taking 3 years?
Shambles.
Like, this whole past 4 or 5 years, they have had horrible construction schedules. So I can see why they're mad at that. The theme of Georgia Surfer makes sense to me, too, because, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But hand-me-down, damn, that just, to me, is, like, sure,
It's an insult.
they might actually be hand-me-downs, but, like, damn. Basically, is all I gotta say to that. But yeah, it's cool that there are more coaster events happening at these parks. I would love to have one. That Kings Dominion hosts something like that, because I know coaster or Virginia's for coaster lovers. The Coaster Crew has basically is the Virginia event that does happen every year. I don't know if it's happening this year, but they definitely said they really want to bring it back. I mean, they come here a lot. I would understand if they don't. See New Horizons, but shout outs to Coaster Crew, another cool group in the roller coaster community. But yeah, that's all that's happened with over Georgia. But back to Universal, I guess HHN, I think, was the only other thing. Oh, and first look at Stardust Racers.
Which looks holy crap.
It's taking me a bit to still call it Stardust, but yeah, first look at Stardust Racers. Yeah.
That was another National Roller Coaster Day thing that they dropped, right?
I think so.
Everyone kind of went all out this year. Which
I'm gonna just say, how do you get to be in those guys' positions? I need to look them up. Those two.
Let me click the button to post it on the social media page.
But basically, like, how do you become the ride guys? How do I become people that just ride things at Universal parks? And essentially that's marketing for people to ride the coaster. This seems so cool. But, yeah, we look at our first look at Stardust Racers. I'm just trying to see if there's any more Universal, get all the Universal out the way, but I think that is it. The ride, there was new shots of Stardust Racers. They saw it riding in front of them. They didn't ride it yet, but they were literally right in front of the ride, where they were able to get all these. So I'm trying to see if I should look at the video.
Hey, I'm Dylan. And I'm Mike. And we're The Ride.
That's Celestial Spin.
Yeah, how do we become Dylan and Mike is what I'm trying to say.
Hey, I'm Dylan. And I'm Mike. And we're The Ride Guys. Now, you may be wondering why we're standing here in construction gear. And no, it's not because we're making the 2025 Ride Guys calendar. It's actually because we're getting an exclusive Ride Guys first look at the brand new Universal Epic Universe. Oh, yeah. We are going behind the scenes of Stardust Racers, which promises to be the most...
God, I'm sorry. Let me just... I'm just looking at the breadth of track that there is to Stardust right now. And... Oof. I can't believe...
Looks so complete already.
I mean...
All this imagery.
Shit, like I'm saying, this looks like my Planet Coaster Park. Oh, I'll be done in a week. Shit. Like, you got Isle of Burke right there, I think. Yeah. Yo, they got 2 of those fucking SNS flyers? Yo! Or those Amperilla flyers. I don't know what the manufacturer makes those, like, wing glider things. Where you could flip, like, 30 times. But, yeah, Stardust Racers looks like the bee's knees. Generally, I'm sorry. And you have people on Twitter saying, see, this is why I just don't get Universal. Why? This just seems like this could be thrown at a regional theme park. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know what to say to these people. A ride needs to be in a box for you to feel immersion, or like, not every ride is trying to immerse you. I'm sorry, that's not the status quo. Roller coasters
doesn't need screens necessarily either.
I was like, roller coasters don't, like, especially thrilling ones. Oh my god, it's already like, you're telling me, like, look at that airtime. Look at that airtime. Like, go, like, They're just showing an airtime hill right when you're walking up. No, this might be a front row ride, bro. Well, I'm calling it. This might be a front row.
Wouldn't be shocked.
But, yeah, I don't understand the philosophy of, oh, it doesn't have extreme theming around it. And I'm saying this as someone who knows theming can enhance a ride. But I'm going to keep real with you. So let's say they don't add shit to 305 next year. That ride's still an elite fucking ride. For what? It might not even make sense to add theming. You're graying out. It's a speed demon. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting adrenaline and throw from the elements. But they're making a beautiful landscape for you to be a part of. You're literally going to be flying. Well, you're not going around Celestial Park, but you're going to be able to see it. You're going to be a part of Celestial Park. Yeah, I just think a setting can truly elevate a ride. It doesn't have to make it, like, it doesn't have to necessarily affect ranking, but it can definitely help. Shoutouts to Hawk Vandalay, but like he made a good point. He's like, there needs to be a parking lot test for coasters. He says throw a coaster in a parking lot, and if it's fully themed, would it still hold up? I think Velocicoaster passes though, to be honest.
Yes, it does. 100%. Without a doubt, Velocity still passes, but the theming makes up for a lot of it. Not a lot of it, but the theming adds a lot to it.
This is unfair, but Hagrid's wouldn't.
Yeah, because like it'd be kind of weird too with the drop track.
Yeah. Yeah. What's another one that has theming?
For Bolton, kinda. I don't know.
That would pass.
Sorta.
Sorta? Yeah, because you get dizzy every time with that Helix, though. That's the thing.
Oh, Cosmic Rewind. No.
You don't think it would? Oh yeah, it literally needs it.
Sorry. No. It does need it.
But I don't see that as exposing a ride either. It's like we're exposing the ride for not because like a ride, like people are saying, that's not so many enthusiasts, and they have like ridiculous throw machines that are ripping your face off. You know, with Cosmic Rewind in the mix, because that's just how good the ride is.
Yeah.
So like that's why I'm saying I just don't agree that if it doesn't pass that it immediately makes a ride. Oh, it's not actually as good. It's not a facade. The ride had theming in mind, so it enhances the ride. That's how I see it. It's a design choice. Right. Let's actually look at this video here. Let's see who did they say his name? I'm gonna make sure we get the engineer they're with here's his name.
I love what you've done with the place.
Well, thank you. You know, it is a work in progress, and as I see from your tools, you're either helping or maybe hindering us. One of my babies here. So I'm JC, and I'm the executive producer.
So this is JC, assistant director, executive producer at Universal Creative for Ride and Show.
For Ride and Show, and this is one of my babies here at Celestial Park.
What is this?
Oh my God, that top hat! The top hats! I'm sorry, this ride looks so fucking good.
Story and the theme of your baby here.
Yes, absolutely. So Stardust Racers, what it is that the citizens of Celestial Park who we love.
Did you see this, by the way? This is like one of the. No, I haven't seen this shot of Celestial Park, and it made me like feel different about it in a good way. Because at first this was like, it still probably is my least favorite to actually attend. I'm kind of only going here for Stardust. I'm not gonna lie, but it does look beautiful. Like I could see me just going around taking pictures here, man. Really.
To its Celestians have figured out a way to
That'd be
harness
crazy
the
to see it
energy
really come
and
to life.
capture these comets, jump on them, and ride ride them across the night sky. So it is, it's a favorite pastime now of all Celestians to ride these
And it's
comets,
like,
and now we're able
and you get that with the theming, the fact that you're like riding comets essentially, because like when it's whipping through itself, it's like they're basically like having fun, like racing comets against each other. That's what celestials will do. Oh, the scene, like, and they say there's no theming or story. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like,
to bring that to the guests.
So we're gonna get to ride a comet.
That's amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
Right, so why should guests be most excited about this coaster?
So one of the really cool things about Stardust Racers is that we have taken the nostalgic feel of the classic wooden roller coasters, and then marry it with the 360 immersive experience such as what our Celestial Spin offers.
Okay, good.
what does he mean by that, RC? We took the inspiration of classic wooden coasters?
Oh no, maybe he means like out and back or like going in and around itself.
Does he mean airtime? Like, this is a steel coaster, and it looks like a modern steel coaster. You know, I don't see wooden inspiration from this. Marry it with the
Feel of the classic wooden roller coasters, and then marry it with the 360 immersive experience such as what
Oh, I know what he means. He means the racing aspect, I think. I'm assuming that's what he means, even though there's not that many classic racing Woodies, but I see what he means.
our Celestial Spin offers.
Okay, good. That's the one I need to know more about.
Of course, that's what I want to answer.
Tell me about the Celestial
Okay,
Spin.
that is absolutely one of the most exciting things about Stardust Racers is Celestial Spin, which is, you can kind of see like right there. I think that works right there. So what Celestial Spin is that it's coming out of Launch 2. As you know, it's a racing coaster. So there's two ride vehicles that are competing against each other. As you come out of Launch 2, you come into the Celestial Spin, and what that allows the guests to experience is guests in one ride vehicle will be looking up, the other ride vehicle inverts over the top of you, so they're looking down, you're looking up, and then milliseconds later, you reverse.
That sounds awesome.
It's really, really cool.
So we'll ride one's next to each other and one's in opposite coaches, opposite cars. Yeah. Vehicles over there, we're moving pieces. A lot of moving pieces, a lot of ins, a lot of outs. But I can still.
All right, but yeah, I don't know how much more there is to it. They're talking about the lighting, and they show the ride vehicle. That's the one thing that's really cool. Like, they get it up close. And honestly, at first I wasn't too hot on it. Then I saw those LEDs. And I'm like, okay, that brings it to life. That brings it to life.
Gotta see them trains in person at night.
That's what I'm saying. If it was no LEDs, I'd be like, these are kind of mid.
Hope they hold up better than Veloci's.
Okay, Veloci's aren't bad. They just need to refurb them all.
No. My point just being like longevity-wise, because
there's at least one train that's Fetty Wap because it's just missing a headlight. One that's an RGB train.
I'm saying.
And then there's one that's fine, or that one doesn't even have lights. But yeah, Stardust Racers is looking amazing. I can't wait to get on it. We've said it enough. We can't wait to get on it. It looks awesome. Generally speaking, we're gonna talk about another ride that we can't wait to get on soon too. But moving on to other Universal, HHN. This is a kind of a talking piece since you've been there. Well, you love this event, and this is a hot take that's been going around. But with HHN growing, this is from Jagenstein Rises, that J Kid 91, and this was making the rounds a bit, at least on the Twitter side. And hot take, but with HHN growing year over year, they need to add additional capacity. I think it's time for an 11th house, another show or two, and A/B nights for actors, and it to be open on Tuesdays. People in my replies, how will they staff it? HHN wage bump and staff incentives. What do you think? Because I think at this point,
my kind of problem here is from my brief. So I went so much last year, and I only went once the year before. It's not like I've gone so much. Like, it's not like I've gone year after year or anything. And, like, some people have, obviously gone and seen it grow for many years. So I don't feel like I could really give the best perspective, but personally, I don't feel like the crowds are that insane, even with it being a growing and popular event.
I'm trying to think. We went on a random. What day? I need to look what day that was, but the lines were pretty brutal. I would say average maybe like hour and a half. But we didn't see a show. We wanted to see Nightmare Fuel, which didn't end up lining up. But I do agree there needs to be more. There's like a lot of Easter eggs around. Like there's like stuff like David S. Pumpkins and everything. And actors you want to see. But I agree, there's like, why isn't there another show? Maybe even like they do the opening show, but they need like a show happening live that you don't have to wait for too. Like that's happening more often and stuff like that. I feel like
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, or it seems to be consensual or whatever consensus that if there was another show and that they had previously had more shows in the past, that would help with the crowd like disbursement or whatever. So,
if you were to add a show, what would you add? Do you think it would change, or do you think it should be another staple show like Nightmare Fuel?
I don't even know where they'd have it or whatever, but yeah, if they had another like big show like that and just did fluctuating times, I think that'd be pretty sick. Because if Nightmare Fuel's that good, I imagine they could do a second pretty awesome offering of some sort.
Oh man, I just think if they were to make an actual Universal monster show,
Be pretty sick.
bring back the classic monsters.
Those be the best houses.
So what do you think of the lineup after it's all been fully confirmed?
To pull out the map.
But yeah, like I know a lot of people are saying they're not as hyped for this year. Me, I think there's a lot more original kind of takes. It seems, I don't know, it feels like there's more original houses this year. Excuse me, it feels like over the years they've kind of like doubled down on having IPs and not having less originals. And apparently the Peacock Bar is being themed to Fanta.
Fanta. You talking about the orange drink?
Yes. Orange and grape or strawberry or...
I mean, I would definitely say I'm just as excited for the event. Like, looking at the lineup. I mean, it might not be, an IP. There might not exactly be a specific IP or, house that's calling my name per se, but I'm still excited for the entire lineup.
I do think they should add
Eternal Bloodlines looks like that might be a sleeper.
I need to look at them again too. But they still do need to add theming to the queues. I don't care. You guys make so much money from this shit.
Split everybody in the cattle pens.
I'm sorry,
let
no.
Let him have a $10 beer. We'll get over it.
I'm saying,
or is it like $14 beer?
So I'm saying, I'm like, no, I'm not paying for that. I'd rather just get a blood bag and get really drunk, cause at least if I'm paying for that, like I'm drinking a liquor and it's gonna be drunker faster. I'm paying more. These IPs are kind of mid. Like, why the fuck is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire a house? You know how bad that movie got received? Yeah, it's strange they chose that. Insidious people like, though, so that makes sense. Everything else is original. And that's where I feel like people are like, oh, it's not as exciting this year. I feel like last year we had like 5 IPs, right? 6 IPs, maybe? We had Chucky, Last of Us,
Stranger
Things, and they were big IPs. Like, there's another one, I swear.
Oh, there's definitely more. I just can't think of it outside my head. Exorcist.
Yeah, Exorcist, Stranger Things, Last of Us.
I think it was just 4.
Really?
Yeah.
And then the one Universal thing. So 1, 2, 3. They have 3 this year. That makeup is incredible.
6 originals in the Universal House. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this is the one where all the women are taking it over now. Let's go. All female, all fearless, all fatal. But I generally think, I guess I could see where they're coming from, because I guess if they're there, if you like IPs like that, if you think that brings it, then yeah. And I do wonder though if Six Flags, I guess, stole the IPs from them. And Triplets of Terror seems like that could be good. Who are they gonna get for the goblins though? That's what I need to see. I need to see those actors for Goblin's Feast. I will say I will miss the Monsters House from last year. The Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the last of that. That is definitely the last of that. So, Kadia, we got looks from National Roller Coaster Day of Spitfire and Falcon's Flight.
That's what I'm saying. We really got blessed on National Roller Coaster Day drop this year.
Yeah. Falcon's Flight is basically done.
No trims.
It does look like these pictures they've posted, Intamin, because they're basically just showing all these like epic, like cream shots for enthusiasts. But what I noticed about this is it looks like they're almost building this on like a Star Wars planet with some of these pictures.
Or on like Mars.
Not like the fucking moon or some shit. Like, it just looks so unreal. Like everything. It's building this in a desert. Like what Mike from Drunk Rider said before. It's literally Arid Heights from Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. That's crazy. Now going back up here. What even made me talk about it? Well, basically the multiple times at Trimless Voyage, I guess. What was this for? Friday Night Live?
This Roller Coaster Day.
Oh, this is National Roller Coaster Day. They did it. Okay.
Yeah. That was the only other Trimless.
And no cap, right?
I don't know about whether or not there was a cap on the event.
I mean, it clearly wasn't, because the basement was opened. Cattle pins and all. The funk was smelled through the screen.
Oh boy.
So the Beast, no one's talking about this now, but the most recent survey, basically from Cedar Fair, came out for Kings Island. Some people got this, some people didn't, and they're taking. Some people are taking this more than I think. I think it's just kind of a funny to add, because there's no way they would add on to the beast. Like, where and how? Like, you know, you're gonna add another chain lift? No, it's just.
I'm confused by this. Like, is this? See, like, I was like, is this shit poster? Is this actually real?
No, some people were getting this actually.
Interesting.
Send the mountain back down. Basically, what was here is with this record-breaking drops, multiple tunnels, the finale moment of the cover double helix, with a new addition of another 2,640 feet of track that sends the mountain back down the tallest drop of any wooden coaster, 184 feet, reaching a top speed of 74 miles an hour, allowing the beast to reclaim its title as longest and fastest.
Hey man, if you can do it, do it. I'm all for it. Blow me away with some wood.
Not phrasing, but
hey, I mean, this is something that would be much appreciated as a avid wooden coaster enjoyer. You can make it crazier. I am all for it.
Yeah, I don't think this is happening. If it did, cool. Like you said, go ahead and cook, but it better be Gravity Group. And
yeah.
Like, hold up. They would just add this onto the side. They're just gonna add a giant chain lift onto the side. This is like the proposed thing here. Ew. I don't know. I just think it like that doesn't make sense. Keep the ride as what it is. You're gonna add a modern layout just randomly at the end of that classic jank. I don't know.
Let them cook.
What we don't know, and hope, why is RMC at Megaphobia? Why is RMC at Megaphobia, RC?
What even is Megaphobia, bro?
It's the clone of Rampage at Alabama's Adventure, and apparently the best wooden coaster in the UK free. It's CCI, gives crazy laterals. Oh, let's look at Megaphobia real quick. Let's look this up for you, because this ride looks so good. Oh, and it's what? Well, you already know. It's UK.
10%. You bundle your home and auto.
Okay, as we're looking at that here, yeah, I really hope they don't add Titan Track, or excuse me, 208, because, not saying because of Mindblower that it should be good or bad, but keep these wooden coasters wooden. We just talked about this at the beginning of the cast. Come on. That Six Flags, hopefully this is the end of their AI bullshit. It seems like Cedar Fair is not happy with a lot of how the parks are ran.
The way they do things.
So we will probably be seeing the end of that. King's Island getting a kick coaster and a raft ride. I'm trying to go through all the small stuff before.
Snake River Falls.
Oh yeah, Snake River Falls is closing September. But yeah, here we go. Here's the layout here. Oh, they put pre-cut on it. Why the fuck do you need RMC there?
Right. Yeah. No. Stick with the Gravity Group pre-cut.
That shit looks so good, bro. Like, you know what's funny is Rampage is apparently gonna get 208 Retrak, and then they transitioned to getting pre-cut. And I think the Cook family owns that park, and that makes sense why.
Unless we're talking an RMC iBox conversion, we need to be sticking with Gravity Group pre-cut, respectfully.
And even then, this coaster clearly does not need a conversion.
Right, this is more, ejector and lats. This looks sick. Oh, that looks awesome.
I want to see Rampage, because I think that's apparently a clone. It's apparently a clone. 5 years. Oh, and our boy Kenobi. Ew, is this like a reversed, a mirrored clone? Man, I love wooden coasters so fucking much. Oh, I guess it's a clone, and that's like it comes out of the station different, but Leia looks very similar.
Am I tripping? Are they similar?
Yeah, it's doing the exact same thing.
My ass too fried. I can't.
Okay,
tell.
there's a
Literally
okay.
Just watched the POV right before this.
Hold up, there might be doing.
No, I just can't remember. Like I don't. We may have just watched the POV, but yeah, I don't know. So I've never seen.
So there is a new double up on this section here. Let's look at that. So that's the one difference, because I was very curious what the main differences were. So you go out of the station differently, but they both climb the hill. Oops. They both climb the hill and turn. So we're gonna look at Rampage. I think that this doesn't have the modified layout that they just did. So we're gonna look at this like the first part here. It's the airtime hill. Regardless, that you guys when this reopens next year, hopefully, you should definitely go out if you're near Alabama to go ride this. It's the only thing at Alabama Adventure, but apparently this slaps. And this is Megaphobia. So airtime hill like before, but it's a double down. Ew. Megaphobia is better now. Yeah, it's paced better now. And it's running. Look at that. And you got a double up going? Yeah. That's sick. Alright, well, I haven't heard good things about that park, though, so hopefully they are doing okay and can't get that up, but I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just play Austin's playlist. I play POVs. I really wish, though, that Pipeline was not always the first one.
About to fall asleep.
Falling asleep looking at Texas Stingray?
I'm just about to fall asleep.
Shit. But, what's all the small stuff here? First long awaited the water park expansions. Kings Island's getting one. They're getting a water coaster along with the... Which park is getting the... Carowinds is getting the kid ride. Sorry, that I said earlier. Kid ride and a raft ride, which I'm surprised they don't have any water rides, so it's good that they're doing that. And we got D23 after this, and talking about a little bit with... Yeah, but in case you guys didn't know, yeah, they're pushing back. Flash vertical velocity. At least they confirmed it, like, unlike Top Thrill 2. Cause, bro... Yeah. The fact they haven't said anything, we're literally in the fall, like, come on, guys.
Well, like, it's also kind of funny because I'm just gonna say this because based on what Pei was saying about, like, the information from the president of over Georgia, and then what I heard about Flash and Great Adventure, it definitely sounds like Cedar Fair is not putting up with any of Six Flags ways. With the whole statement that I heard that was like, yeah, if you can't get Flash and Surfer open by August, what even is the point?
Yeah, but your guys are going to say, hey, Zamperla did this, blah, blah, blah. Have Tony go on a talk show for Sandusky, as a radio show, and say, oh, it's not a year, it's not going to be a summer-long thing. And
definitely a bit of a double standard there for sure.
I'm like, what? You just took everyone's money for Fastlane all year so they can even get a ride guarantee when they go to the fucking park. And now they haven't been able to use it for Top Thrill 2 because it's been closed. They haven't been able to use commercials that they have made for the ride because the ride has been closed.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So I guess it's almost like they're on a high horse and they're like mad about their own flop, and they're just like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I said the whole time. I'm like, how are they gonna go acting all high and mighty at Six Flags Over Georgia when you guys are barely better than them in aspects? Like, regardless, Mako was apparently running trimless on Roller Coaster Day.
The comments of that Twitter post seemed a bit shaky.
What you mean?
At best. It's just a shit post.
Uh-oh. Because you're saying it would be great. Hey, don't talk about my boy Nate. Nate's the GOAT. Hung out with him. Now, I will say, Mako for me just doesn't hit. It's half a hyper, but it's better than Candy. So that's better than average hyper. Mako was definitely a better than average hyper. I think that's all the beefier stuff here. Did we talk about Lost Island getting an RMC yet?
Nah.
Yeah, but they're getting
a lot of Six Flags stuff too.
Oh yeah, the Wrath of Shakira. Shakira. Oh baby, if you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. Seriously though, do you think any local is truly gonna say the Wrath of Rakshasa?
It's gonna be a mouthful for a lot of people.
They're gonna call it Wrath. It's like when I was had a bit of a little convo on the Twitterverse with your favorite coaster sucks, because they finally got something to that park. That park was getting beaten up for no reason by Six Flags. Just nothing, taking away shit, and finally they're getting stuff. So, as honestly, I hope a lot of parks get good capital investment, man. Like, if they realize that people are actually interested, they're just like, hey, we're not just going to go to the same old.
Right.
Yeah. Shit, we gotta look at the TEA report. That's the one. I don't know how I didn't see that or post that here. Maybe I overlooked it or some shit, but yeah, that's gonna be the very last thing though. But Quantum Accelerator is opening at New England. That is going to be, honestly, I think that one's gonna be kind of good. I'm not gonna hold you. The airtime moments, I'm not sure there's actually gonna be 11, but I do think it's definitely gonna pull some good positives and moments. A longer ride than a Dark Coaster. I just personally think that, because even Wave Breaker or whatever's at San Antonio, that was better than Dark Coaster. And that wasn't even like great by any means.
Yeah. 11 airtime moments. It's a bit funny.
Yeah, I'm calling a little bit cap with that, but hopefully it actually does pull something like that. We'll see. Personally, I found it.
That's definitely a good family coaster.
Oh, Steel Curtain is so loud. Oh man, I forgot how loud this fucking lift is. Dude, I just skipped like 45 seconds and they still haven't made it up yet. Why can SNS literally is like, oh yeah, we'll make the world's fastest and punchiest launches, but chain lift, yeah, it's basically still an aero model. Like, what the fuck? Bro, I miss this ride so much.
Steel Curtain's good.
Like, people just don't realize. Because they can't ride it. Like, but shit's good airtime moments, great whip. It doesn't feel like it's just doing inversion after inversion in each one. Like, Joe Draves, to me, has some of the best flow when he's given the time, or given the space and the money. he really has really good flow with his rides. At least from the ones I like. Area Force 1, this, here Max Force Slaps 2, Wildcats Revenge.
We missed out on a ride opening not in the U.S. A pretty...
What's this?
Big one.
Whoa, what's this? What ride open?
Cedar Fair Park.
Oh yeah, no. I was gonna get to that like the last, because that's the biggest fucking thing, right?
You would say that's the biggest. Okay.
Yeah, that's easily the biggest thing that's opening next year, like so far. Unless, like, I mean, in the States that I can think of, unless like, well, I guess regional park wise, I could say that, but yeah, like, I think that's everything here. What is Jillian's is apparently closing at? Yeah, Jillian's Amusement Park, New Jersey Amusement Park, so to close after 94 years.
What credits they got there?
I don't remember.
Looks like they have one wacky worm. That's it.
Yeah, but it's still a place to go. It's still cute. Yeah, after 47, this is on their website. To our loyal guests and friends, after 47 incredible years working on Ocean City Boardwalk, I have little choice but to retire and close Jillian's Wonderland Pier and 6th Street Pizza and Grill. That's what I mean. It's like the stuff around it. Maybe they had a wacky room, but the flats there, the stuff they had there, like 6th Street is gone now. You know, I guess no one wanted it or wanted to buy it, or maybe they didn't want to get rid of it. They wanted to end the tradition with the family and this generation. So. The 94 years of tradition at Jillian's Amusements on the boardwalk have been cherished by so many people, no more than me. It's been my life, my legacy, and my family. It's sad to let go. I started at the age of 13, bringing Walt Tucker tools. Hold on, I need to shut this up. I'm sorry, I need to go back to this post. Okay. Started at the age of 13 bringing Walt Tucker tools to fix the rides. Being the ring boy and working with my brother John was one of my best memories. I learned how to fix and operate the rides. I was taught the business by my father and brothers. In a family business, you can learn to become a jack of all trades. I worked many long hours alongside my family, and I've been blessed to have that opportunity. I've worked so many talented people, too many to name, able to work with our kids and see our 13 grandkids take their first rides. Try my best to sustain Wonderland. We will terminate our multi-year lease in a couple months. Wonderland and 6th Street Pizza will remain open through the Indian summer weekend to give everyone plenty of time to use up their tickets. The property itself is no longer mine, so I can't speak of the future. So they were able to sell it, I guess. Yeah, that's 13. Since 13 working at a park. That is crazy. Wow. Literally worked all the way up to owning it. Jay Gillian. Man, rest in peace.
Service, Mr. Gillian.
Yes. So they had a wacky worm, though, you said?
That was the only credit that I saw on RCDB.
Okay, what rides do they have?
Huh?
Like, they got a... Oh, God. Haunted Dark Ride? Okay. Wacky Worm and Tilt-A-Whirl? Okay. A Glass House? That sounds cool. Ooh. Okay, compared to the rest of stuff there, yeah. I can see what you're saying, but it was a part... I remember when I went, it was definitely there and a part of my visit at one point of going and... Big reason up for it, right? So, rest in peace, Jillian's. Or Gillian's, I think it was. Bad accident on Waldemere, apparently. At the Flying Swings. I didn't even look into this yet, but this was 3 days ago, actually. Injuries to several guests reported. So, Waldemir accident. There was no fault of the ride operator. This was a freak accident that could have been avoided if an older child wouldn't have been messing around and cut the last bar down. This caused a malfunction. My daughter and I were on the flying swings when it happened, and that had an accident. An older boy unlocked his lap bar and was lifting it up while we were in the air. The operator warned him several times, and he didn't do it, so he said he would be stopping the ride and breaking it down. The ride went down, but it kept spinning at full speed. As soon as the swing started hitting the umbrella at the operator station, we knew we were in trouble. The ride didn't even slow down until swing started hitting the railing. Oh my god! Multiple people, mostly children, were injured. You could tell 3 of them had broken bones and 1 gash on his foot of the wall. I tried to reach the boy that had the gash, but he was too far and couldn't reach anyone behind me. I was also trying to keep my daughter safe at the same time. She was on the outside part of the swing. I'm now wishing she would have been on the inside part. She would have been safer. Once the ride finally stopped, I froze in shock for a moment, and it took me to realize what happened. The screams could only be screened as them from horror movies, and are very heart-wrenching, especially seeing so many kids hurt in a split second. I'm extremely grateful we were able to walk away without injury, but we were only one of the small few that weren't, because there were a lot of others with minor injuries from the swings. My heart truly goes out to those. Yeah, holy fuck. Damn, so I think the op, I
was reading that thread earlier.
Lowered it without slowing it down?
Something about, from a ride mechanic's perspective, that the op may have pressed the E-stop or something, which caused it to, drop or whatever. So, I don't know. Something about there's also potentially a, what's the word?
All the parks in my
he
park
has
are
it.
trained
That's right
with
there, yeah.
E-stop in the event of a resistant failure. Oh, I guess that makes sense, because if he's doing something that would danger himself, you stop it immediately. But in this ride's case, that's not probably the best decision to do because of how it's E-stopped. Contrary to proper belief, an E-stop won't necessarily bring the ride to an immediate halt. The E-stop is designed to cut all power to the ride. That's what I was thinking too. Thanks to Ride the Ride mechanic, I know that. But these type of rides don't tend to have a separate brake, and usually the brake is built into the motor, which is fine during normal operation as the ride will slow down gradually. However, when in an emergency situation like this, you will have the full force of the ride, many tons of metal, moving at fairly high speed, trying to slow down with a small motor brake. Why don't they use a proper brake for emergencies? Are you asshole? Momentum. Yeah, if you stopped, yeah, just break it. And the kid that was fucking around with the bar is slung shot into the woods of Erie. Jesus. They stated the issue was the ride spinning too quickly, which is why the seats were far out. When the ride is operating correctly, the seats yeah, that's a crazy situation at Waldemir, to be honest. And I'm sorry for anyone that had to experience that, but please don't be messing with your bars for your actual bar that is keeping you in. Don't be fucking with that, please. Please. It's oh my god. Hey, this is Bob. Shout outs to Bob from Tide Friction. You see that?
Yeah, I see.
You never hear anything happening on these rides, and now in less than a month or so, we have 3 incidents on them. It's got to be a coincidence, but jeebus. Yeah, that's... luckily, it sounded like it honestly had nothing too bad from it. Like, in the sense of... The ride is still up, and it wasn't a mechanical fault. It was just... I don't even want to say an operator error, because you E-stop it to stop him from messing with the restraint, but man, that might need to be looked at, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a reprogram is due, if that's even possible for that old of an attraction, you know? How much can you actually reprogram?
Yeah.
But apparently King's Dominion is getting a new haunt. Let's actually go to their website. And honestly, guys, there's no Jungle X report this week because everything you saw is basically what has happened. You know, they're basically it's up into the midway, like the track.
Well, hopefully though, now that weekly ops have stopped, we'll get a big Jungle X report, or maybe not big, but just a new update of some sort, like expansion out into the midway. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
More
that's what I was thinking. They stopped literally right at the midway, where they can't build because it's like 20 feet above where some of the track's gonna be, and yeah, they have to wait until basically it was the end of daily operations to go ahead and finish up all that. I can expect it to be done with the whole midway section. I don't know if anything after that, but people that go, you know, on Friday, they're probably going to be pleasantly surprised with what's going to be happening, what they see. Personally speaking, though, this project is, I'm very happy with the look of it. You still need to write it. The look of it, I get that vision. But King's Dominion haunt, honestly, I do like our haunt a lot. I try to go at least once a year.
Gotta get them 2-hour I-305 lines.
Yeah, I really don't go for the rides at that point, but I will go on a ride or two once. Because, you know, I do love our rides there. But Halloween haunt, did they not have the houses yet, or they only just give one? Oh. So, MonsterCon is new. This is literally going to be in International Street. So, as soon as you walk in, you're going to see it happening. And I guess they're really saying don't bring your kids in and stuff, because, like, we're not dealing with that stuff. Cleaver's Brothers Carnival. Wait, so what did they say? Returning this fall on the perennial spectacular Halloween haunt event, Darkness Creeps. This year's feature is a new maze called MonsterCon. So that's... Oh, so are they getting rid of the hay one? Cornstalkers? Because I thought Cornstalkers was at International Street.
It's like close to the front on there for that.
Cleaver's Brothers Carnival.
Walking on the right.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you have seen the rest. Now step right up and experience the best. The Cleaver's Brothers have set their midway and invite you to experience a carnival like no other. So they also bring back Fear. Oh, so Cornstalkers is still there. Under new management, Dominion Farms welcomes you back. Trick or Treat and Blood on the Bayou and Grimwoods. God damn it! This Grimwoods is so not good. So I just don't want them to bring it back. I like Fear, honestly. I like Trick or Treat is not my demographic, but Blood on the Bayou is fantastic. So these two seem new. Cleaver's Brothers. I don't remember Cleaver's Brothers. And MonsterCon, but oh, that means they got rid of the one that's was like we're going to like a wedding or something in like the old action theater. But the sites are Pumpkin Eater, Side X, Uprising, the Dodgeball Survivor Society is here to help. I like how they threw in the city with that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to go at least once this year. I always try to go at least once or twice. It's always fun. And yeah. I feel like you avoid King's Dominion when it hits around that time.
Them 2-hour I-305 lines be a bit deterring.
I mean, and now that
I wasn't really big on the haunts until past couple years, so
yeah, I think you should experience their haunts.
Good mazes before them, so
I think you should experience some of them. They're pretty good. It's definitely a really good regional park haunt.
Yeah. Just regional park.
What? Snake River Falls is closing September 6th. I know we talked about it briefly, but we didn't say the date. And honestly, I kind of want to talk about D23 before AlpenFury, but fuck it. What do you think of AlpenFury, bro? You know, the layout,
The layout looks insane, but the trains can concern.
They're Premier trains. In case you guys didn't know. Premier is making this ride. And so, here's my thoughts. The first half of the layout looks great. Like, it looks, honestly, like, definitely a modern age. Like, holy shit. Premier made this? Okay. Once we start going back to the park, or the station, or whatever, that's where I'm like, they got inspired by Star Fox 64 somewhere here. I feel it. There was just hold up. Do a barrel roll. Yeah, there's just a whole bunch of do a barrel rolls. This is the second half of AlpenFury.
I think part of the shock factor of it is that watching the POV, like, damn, like, this is a premiere?
Yeah.
What?
No, the first half, I was like, that is insane. And then I'm like, okay, you lost me a bit with that, but at least, like, some of them, they're not like, it's not like it's in case y'all haven't seen it, it's not like it's just like it's Colossus at, like, Thor Park, or it's literally just doing Heartline rolls or something. Like, they're doing, like, you're going, like, 50, 60 miles an hour, going through these big barrel rolls, but, like, and you have, like, valleys in between them, but I just thought it was weird. Because the first one is almost like a weird kind of Cobra Roll-ish element, because you take a barrel roll one way, you kind of are in that valley, and then you take it the other way going down. I thought that was cool, but then you take two in the same exact, like, direction, not much difference, and then one more in the different direction into a double up. And I'm like, you know, if they really hit, I won't mind, I guess. Because, you know, but I would have loved to have the variety. Or something else. Now, 2 train operations is where I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I at least thought they would do 3. Because, you know, these premieres, for some reason, they can't make them long. They can only make, like, 3 car trains or something. And yeah, so we're gonna have 2 trains on the track with 18 people. That's 36. That's disgusting. That's what I'll say. At Canada's Wonderland.
Not too good.
Canada's Wonderland gets a lot of attendance. Now, they definitely have went down a bit this past year for some reason, but they still get just underneath Cedar Point, which is just over 4 million. So, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have, I guess they have capacity in that park, but, like, this is the biggest thing they have added in Canada since Leviathan. Like, I can't think of anything else in any other part of Canada that is as important as this ride is right now. And I will say, I really wish we could have got something like that. Just because it has a mountain still. And I get they do not want to spend the money to rebuild a mountain. And they probably couldn't have kept that specific mountain. But fuck, man. That would have been so awesome to have something like that utilize the mountain. And having all that track just wrapping around, like, some people might find it kind of gaudy and, like, too much. Like, there's not enough scenery. But for me, it's seeing 3 different or 4 different, like, coaster tracks and, like, one shot or one that's amazing to me. How that was able to work. And it's also wrapped around a mountain. I don't know. That's dope. Too bad, like I said, Canada's Wonderland is a lot of filler. It is. Even the marquee attractions don't necessarily hit for the enthusiasts a lot of the time, so I'm hoping that does fit that, but it's a fucking premiere, man. Apparently, I'm just hoping full throttle. You know, people say that's really good. You know, that's going to be basically elements from that, but put to just, if not the same level, longer and, you know, a full layout. That would be great. Because, I mean, it's shit. If they, if they actually get these projects and then finally, all right, we got enough R&D money to change these trains, then like, okay, we're looking somewhere. Or they could just take this money and just, keep making the same shitty trains. I mean, shit. People think that the trains have even changed, but Flight of Fear and all those rides, they are basically the same as trains. Like, the only difference is that they give you comfort collars or they took off the chassis area.
They both feel cramped as hell.
Yeah, like, when you sit in, like, you don't have to go and sit into a bucket, I guess, but you still have to go crawl into it. Like, if I'm struggling and I'm at my size to get into a Premier train, there's a problem. Like, right. It's not good. But AlpenFury, regardless, it's awesome they're getting something like this. And it's something that Premier needed in their portfolio, because the only other full layout I think they have that's, actually give a damn is Full Throttle. Some people like Icebreaker. I'm not one of them. But that looks good. I hope it does well for them. And people are saying the trains look different. Honestly, they look like they just took out the wing area. I still think my shins and my feet are not gonna feel good. But no comfort colors.
Not really expecting to be happily surprised by anything in terms of a train modification. That's for sure.
That, and we're gonna be stapled anyway. Like, those lap bars are trash. They're like head up to your chest, bro. It's yeah. As you can see, I'm not the biggest Premier fan, but yeah, I hope they can prove me wrong with this. Be like, this is clearly a good ride. Like, I want to say that, and I want to come back to Canada just for that ride. But we had a whole bunch of D23 bullshit coming on, huh? Where Avengers Ride coming to Disneyland. We got our first look at King Thanos. What is this? Infinity Defense, I think, is what it's called. I'm trying to get the name of it. I can't find it now. I want to say it was Infinity Defense or something like that.
Infinity War?
No, the ride coming to Avengers Campus.
Yeah, Infinity Defense.
Yeah, Avengers Infinity Defense is the name of the e-ticket attraction coming to Disneyland Adventure Park. Yeah, I still don't like the name California. Never mind.
DCA.
There's a 2-minute long behind the scenes look at the creation of Avengers, all that stuff there. Yeah, they actually. So the thing is, where they were dropping all this stuff, right? You guys are probably thinking, why do we care about D23? Well, this year they went and said, none of this is blue sky. All of this is active development. Every single thing you're seeing is actually happening here. So that turned everything to a whole nother level, because you would think, if they show us a Monsters Inc. coaster, that's maybe gonna happen. Probably never at this rate. But no, that's happening. It looks like it's gonna be Vekoma trains, like a Vekoma family suspended. And we're finally getting the ride that everyone has always asked for, essentially, and that's to be a part, like a door in the factory. And going around, and I'm assuming it's gonna be the sequel.
So I'm confused. Why does the Avengers ride look like Spider-Man?
Please don't tell me that. Oh, you mean like the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ride vehicle, I thought that too. And I'm like, please be something similar to that. It would be funny if they outsourced it. Would that be one of the first rides they outsource? I doubt it, but like if they did outsource it, I doubt it, but no, I guess they're Vekoma attractions. Like, they work with Vekoma a lot. But Villains at Magic Kingdom is another thing that people are excited about. That's apparently the big plot of land at Magic Kingdom, all those acreage that they have for that expansion, that's going there. So that's big. Stark Flight Lab is coming to Avengers Campus. So they're really trying to build up that. The first look at the Spider-Man coaster coming to Shanghai Disneyland. I'm assuming that's going to be Vekoma making that.
Well, and then what about, it's a little bit questioning with the Monsters Inc. coaster being of a Vekoma too in capacity. It's Vekoma suspended coaster. It's kind of...
Oh, they have to have some sort
best.
of... No, I know they normally make them fly into the station. For some reason. I have no clue why they don't just want to...
They're going to have just multiple load and unload stations. There's no way they...
Oh, yeah. You can have them fly into the unload.
Yeah.
Which honestly sounds kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, so they'll have load-unload platforms or whatever. So they can do that. for sure. Because there's no way they could just have like, 2 trains like Dragonfly or something.
Bro, Dragonfly has one.
Sorry. Yeah, you know what I meant.
Bro, what did you? You didn't even bring it up, but you got the credit, right?
I did get that credit. Yeah, I got all the credits.
Yeah, it's kind of mid.
It is.
Yeah, Big Bear Mountain's much better, but Magic Kingdom's getting a Cars ride. What do you think of that?
I'm all for it, dude. Radiator Springs is awesome.
Yeah, but does Cars fit in to Frontierland? And I that's where people are making a big deal about the new Frontierland with them getting rid of Tom Sawyer, like we talked about earlier. But this is the one thing I can kind of see where they're talking about, like, Cars and Frontier. Like, maybe with the theme they're doing here, right? It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they're doing, like, rally racing or off-road racing, but you still see Mater and Lightning, like, talking about it. Which I guess is fine. I mean, they're the characters, but for what this is, if it's really going to be like an outdoor kind of, basically a Frontier version of the
right.
Las Vegas or Route 66, yeah, I'm for that. I think it's actually kind of an interesting way of bringing cars into Frontierland.
I think that it's good. I don't know.
I think it works, but I can see why people are getting upset, I guess, because it's like Cars and Frontier. Like, if you just say that, you're like, what? But yeah, you have to show them the concept parts and all of that. But essentially, this is confirmed too because this is being placed in the new Frontierland, like the reimagined section where Tom Sawyer's land and island and all that's going to be. But not only are we getting a Monsters Inc. roller coaster, we're getting a whole land in Studios. And now this will make Studios a full-day park. Finally. Finally. Like, this is now, I do need to know if that's going to be the only attraction. It probably still will not be a full-day park. You need to have potentially a restaurant there and another side attraction, maybe 2 smaller ones too. They're putting carnival rides in my park, but it's probably a carnival ride they're gonna put in their park and theme it to Monsters Inc. Yeah, you need rides that for kids to get on and not wait in a line just all the time, just to get on the ride. But I do think that will make Hollywood Studios be finally the full day park that they've been trying to make it since its inception. Because, like, there's 2 attractions in Galaxy's Edge, bro. When did that open?
I don't know, like 2019 or so. 2018.
I guess you can do a lot more there. Like, I should say there's bars there. There's like restaurants there. Like, we didn't even go to Cantina. Which I honestly, that would have probably been nice to do too. I definitely would need to get drunker for that day. But Ohana, I need to go back. That's all I'm saying. Are you guys going there when you go?
I don't think so.
Indiana Jones is replacing Dinosaur, though. Confirmed. 2027. 3 years. So that area is going to look like shit for a while, unfortunately, but...
yeah.
I'm sad.
It's just kind of funny. It's like going to be like Epcot, like with like all the walls up.
Yep.
And like just looking bad.
Me, I'm like... I'm trying to think of a way to put it. I loved Dinosaur. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm going to just say it. I loved Dinosaur. Yes, it could have been lighter. Yes, it was probably the most aggressive dark ride out there. And yes, some of the animatronics were dated. But I loved it. I loved how campy it was. You're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. I love seeing Aladar. Now, I haven't seen the movie it was based off on in probably 2 decades, but I remember liking that too. I had it on VHS. So that's probably I have my soft spot.
That shit on VHS too.
Whenever I see clips, whenever it comes up on like a YouTube video or some shit with someone for some reason talking about it, I'm like, good God, that's CGI. That was clearly like their first venture into CGI. Oh my God, it does not date well. It's uncanny. But Encanto is coming to Magic Kingdom. Oh, Animal Kingdom. I'm sorry, I must have been high putting all this in. Coming to Animal Kingdom. 2027. I guess that makes sense. Are there really animals in Encanto like that? Tropical Americas in general is coming.
I saw Encanto, I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, Tropical Americas in general is coming to it as it's all gonna be like 2027, like Indiana Jones and Encanto and the carousel attractions. And Lion King apparently is being put over the Splash Mountains.
Which actually looks like it's gonna be a good attraction too. So it's like, why does Paris have to get that?
No, that one looks good.
That's what I'm saying. So why does Paris get the best, like one of the best looking attractions?
Yeah, like that's one of the weakest
from the
parks.
whole drop.
Yeah, they're the weakest parks. Lion King, like this overlay looks fantastic.
Should have put that at Animal Kingdom with Indiana Jones or something.
Yeah, just add another Splash Mountain. You need capacity anyway. Just place the same ride. They're not gonna care. And apparently California Adventure is getting their own Pandora, which is kind of gross in my eyes. California Adventure is just
they don't have room for that, so they're gonna have to like take something out and put that there, put it in its place.
I'm just like,
have room.
I'm sorry, I don't get the vibe of California. It just seems like mismatch, just thrown smorgasbord of IPs and random shit now.
It's definitely it's definitely more weird now because like you'll have Radiator Springs,
and I'm gonna walk on over to a new planet and go to an alien planet with Pandora, and yeah, now I'm gonna go and see Deadpool and Wolverine and talk about Tinder and Grindr.
Go see Groot.
Like, honestly, like if you're so into nerd culture and shit, like maybe this is a part for you. For me, I don't see. I'm into nerd culture, and this doesn't work for me. Like this just feels like they're just throwing shit out the wall.
You just gotta go.
I mean, I am gonna go. I said next year, California's mine, Nor and SoCal. So, but like I'm saying, so much money went into the budget. Like for just Deadpool, they had a whole wave. How many Wolverines were here? I'm trying to see how many Wolverines were in this banana outfit. Let me actually count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They have 11 people paid to be banana Wolverines while there's a banana Deadpool. That's 12 actors. To not even be the main actor of a character in the park. Like, all I'm saying is, how many alts are there for, like... How many alts are there for, like, Ariel? Or, like... or, you know, any of the really big characters. Or the Genie. How many alternate costumes are there for the fucking Genie? Or some shit like that. There's one costume. Now, for the Mickey characters, you're gonna have, like, a bunch of costumes. Like, seasonal ones, all that stuff. And sometimes they do seasonal ones for some of these ones I am naming, but... The fact that Deadpool and Wolverine came out last month and already has three different like type of shows in the park in different ways is insane to me. Are we gonna just basically the next time I go into a Disney park, am I gonna see Deadpool and Wolverine just walking around? Like, is it gonna be normal in 5 years just to see that? Apparently your Diamond Pass is staying, but you can't do any of the add-on stuff or any because you're gonna actually get that new payment. But apparently these boyos are staying, so you're paying that price and still getting into the parks. So it sounds like a win-win, bruh. So basically all you need to do is just pay for the Cedar Fair dining stuff, and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Yeah, Hollywood Studios did a deep dive if you want a better look at that. I mean, that was 2 weeks ago at this point, but we try. Six Flags announced that they're, So basically, all the stuff here. Last thing we gotta cover is just the amusement park index. Yeah, basically we went over New Kitty photos, HHN, Universal, Disney, Loving Deadpool, The Wrath of Shakira. You make a woman go mad to be one, to be one. Oh, tonight and my hips don't lie. Something to feel is gone. Oh my! Literally, if they like, I know they play generic pop music and shit in the parks. So like, if I either hear that while I'm in the queue for Wrath of Shakira, oh my god, I'm gonna be so happy. It'd just be so fitting. I consider that theming. They need to have Shakira come to the opening of the ride just like they had Fabio come. Even though Fabio really had no relevance to the ride at all. He was, I guess, just an Italian model. Which, like, in hindsight, is kind of funny. Like, he's like, yeah, let's get a famous Italian model to just ride this roller coaster.
Makes perfect sense.
Makes complete sense, right? Complete sense. Not really at all. Complete sense, ladies and gentlemen. You know, maybe Busch Parks never had good marketing, actually. Yeah, I can't find anything else here besides the TEA, so if we did miss something, fuck. But I don't think we did. So, this is the 2023 index. This shows, like, attendance throughout the parks, water parks, and museums. There was some interesting stuff. The TEA, let me see exactly what they're called. The Themed Entertainment or Association. They basically write down and document essentially like there's the trends they've noticed, all that stuff throughout the parks, and basically they are firmly saying, this is coming from them as a quote on from the TEA because they basically wrote this. So this is senior analyst economics, economics, okay, and plus advisory. Onward and upward. With the pandemic firmly in the past, stabilized global attraction industry moves towards future development. The year 2023 marked a turning point in the global attractions industry. With pandemic-related operating restrictions essentially gone, theme parks, water parks, and museums were able to turn their attention to recovery and focus on the future. I will say, RC, when we do get to the noted, like the trends here and the actual charts, it kind of does make sense. What I was saying, it just feels like these parks people are just here. Like, they're talking global attendance trends. The museum market is perhaps seeing the most dramatic change, establishing European institutions, new facilities in Asia. So that stuff's interesting. Latin America and the European water parks did well in 2023. The Middle East water parks. This was helped by the decreased attendance in Dubai. Yeah, apparently Dubai's been killing it when it comes to this report. Dubai has been killing it. Neighboring parks to SeaWorld Abu Dhabi opened to international acclaim midway through 2023. And if it continues on its current attendance trajectory, will easily place on our 2024 list as well. Holy shit. Elsewhere, European parks performed exceptionally well. Now here is the interesting thing when I was reading this, RC. I want you to really listen to what I'm reading here. So, elsewhere, European parks performed exceptionally well, while parks in the Americas experienced more modest growth. Generally, parks that invested regularly throughout the pandemic years tended to perform better over time. Asian parks, most dramatically affected by pandemic restrictions, showed great year-over-year rebounds, but it remains to be seen if the great growth of the Asian market that we saw pre-pandemic will continue in the coming years. On the operator front, China's Fantawild has moved into the number 2 spot on our top operators. I thought the America's part was interesting. You know what America did when the pandemic happened? They held their dicks. They said, we're going to push everything back 2-3 years. Oh, we're going to make you buy passes, but we're going to push everything back to 2-3 years. Not add anything. If we add something, it's going to be a family ride. Up in Fulcoma Family Boomerang. It's going to be a $1 million junker from Skyline. Oh, jeez. But yeah, essentially, for every one of those, you saw something actually big and substantial coming to those parks. Even if it wasn't necessarily a coaster, like I'm saying, a big expansion area, a big ride. We're just seeing that stuff again in America. So, yeah, they were just kind of holding around for a while. Six Flags started, I wouldn't say they started doing it again, but really 2023 was the actual year that America opened again. And you clearly see that in the attendance trend when we're going to cover. But the top 10 amusement park operators, theme park operators, you want to guess or see who number 1 is?
It's got to be Hershend.
Top 10 worldwide?
Yeah, got to be Hershend.
Hershend isn't even on here.
No.
So the top 10, these are basically the people that own these parks and have the most attendance. So Disney's number 1. Disney is number 1. Because they have the most attended parks. It's like, it's kind of hard to beat that. 142,000 in 2023. The next closest is 142 million. Sorry, 142 million. And 85,000, or God, what was wrong with me? I'm just reading this wholly wrong. 85 million for Phantom Wild. So they're not halved, but yeah, it's... Now, there are other things that have halved. So Merlin Entertainment was halved, but they just own so many parks. Universal has been halved by them. Come Along's up there now. Happy Valley. Cedar Fair actually is in the mix. Six Flags, but those are merged now, so they're probably going to be closer to the 50 mil in terms of attendance. But funny enough, United Parks and Resorts are just underneath that. 21 million. Then finally Palace, Park Reunions, and the top 25 parks overall. Top 25 worldwide, not a specific region, worldwide. Now, you're going to see a lot of what you saw before, but there's some interesting things here. So, Magic Kingdom's obviously number 1. 3% increase. But, look at number 3 real quick for me here. Hold up. Can I zoom in? Yeah, hold up. Look at number 3. Universal Studios Japan. Look what's underneath. Look what's underneath. Number 4. Tokyo Disneyland. Universal Studios Japan 2023 was the most attended park in Asia.
It's like all huge increases, too.
Yeah, 30% increase, 25%. Shanghai Disneyland, 164.2%. Yeah, because they were really fucked. A lot of China was definitely screwed over by that, but you have apparently Islands had a 9% decrease.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of funny. It was like they had a big boom. What happened? Maybe everyone's waiting for Epic Universe. That's what I'm starting to think. But obviously the top 10 here is going to be put in with a bunch of resorts. Come Along Ocean Kingdom's put in there too, but literally it's I think all 4 of the Walt Disney World parks are here. Disneyland is here. Yeah. And then all Disneyland Paris. Yeah, it's all Disney parks. But let's go into the regions here, shall we? They also actually said that. So they're saying sometimes more is less. Attendance to North American theme parks was a mixed bag, but operators delivered with strong underlying metrics. The stark contrast, North American theme parks were stagnant for 2023. 3% increase was the most, really. And in 2023, only 2 major operators posted portfolio-wide attendance gains: Disney and Six Flags. For the latter, it was a first world fortune. Six Flags, because they were posting all that stuff later. But a device range of factors here. Basically, they were saying that they think parks build holding on to pass holders, as a way that they've been able to sustain themselves. And they quoted United Parks and Resorts for that, but it's funny because I know a lot of people that are not actually becoming a pass holder right now. But we're going to go past the top 10 here because obviously it's all Disney and Universal. But SeaWorld is number 10. I was kind of shocked about that. But it's not Cedar Point. Busch Gardens, Tampa. SeaWorld, San Diego. Which I was 13% increase. That's pretty huge. Six Flags Magic Mountain finally back up. Hershey Park is up here. Canada's Wonderland had a big decrease for some reason. I'm not sure. Because, yeah, they're normally in the 4 mil mark, actually. I was wrong. They're not in the 4 mil this year. They're at 3.2. But Six Flags, both Great Adventure and Great America had a huge jump. Like, almost 20% increase in their attendance. And, like, that's looking pretty good. Pretty good. On to the Latin... Yeah. Excuse me. Where is it? Asia. Yeah, Universal Studios Japan is the most visited park. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on, like, seeing all this information?
What exactly do you mean, bro?
It was like the differences in parks and like increase from year to year and the attendance increases and like the trends that they noticed and saying, you know, the ones that didn't invest aren't necessarily as doing as well or had as much growth as the ones that did invest. And I just think all that stuff's pretty interesting. Pretty cool.
This is definitely a lot of information.
Yeah. I was looking at this for like the past few days whenever I just got curious about something. Like they show the water parks, they even have museums, links here at the bottom. Which obviously, museums are cool, but we're not enthusiasts for them, so. I'm not. But yeah, basically they're saying destination resorts are where most people are willing to spend their money, too. So, yeah, that's basically everything we got in that whole theme park index. But parks are doing well, for the most part. Basically, we've seen nothing but an uprise, like, industry-wide. And now that, like, what they were saying, that parks, a lot of parks and operators are realizing, okay, we're past this pandemic phase. Let's go ahead and actually try to put some big capital investments, realize, okay, it costs this much for a ride nowadays. All right. Like, they're kind of adjusting their playing field here. And I'm down for it because I think it's back to the time that we're seeing consistent, awesome attractions worldwide. Not even just saying America, but worldwide. Shit,
For that I am grateful.
Shit. Literally, like, it's to the point where I gotta travel. All the most modern and innovative shit is overseas, to be honest.
No doubt.
So, yeah, it's gonna be awesome seeing in 2026, 2027, like, what exactly is coming out the woodworks from these parks. Hell, IAPA this year might be kind of hot. It's been kind of dry the past, because 2019 I still think was like, whew, that year was great. Then obviously, pandemic next year. And parks completely halting their plans, so they're not even going to be showing things. So honestly, I think the big reason why it was kind of drier these past few years, it was really the pandemic. So now that we're back to parks, getting back into this capital investment, yeah, I think it's gonna be a cool thing. I think we're looking good for this hobby. I think it's good all. But any last words? Any wrath of Shakira you got?
I'm fighting the wrath of sleep.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of doing that as well, so y'all want to take care. Like you said, it somehow almost pushed this to another 3 hours. I mean, there was a lot of news, so yeah, y'all, thank y'all for listening. RC, it's been awesome having you back. Honestly, this might be the last like week or two for like consistent like because we do want to do these main episodes and not have them be 2.5. We want to do like a news report of the week or two, but like stuff just keeps happening. Life keeps life, you know. But yeah, we just did the whole recap on that. Go check out that Gravity Group video on The Wired, because that's awesome that they were there. Buzzbars has a stumble interest forum for the UK. We're going across the pond, yeah? So go ahead and check us out there. Check out the Buzzbars stuff on their website. Or Discord if you have the Discord info. And yeah, last words for us is stay cool out there, guys. Go ahead and follow the socials. At the High Rollers DMV on Instagram, and me at West Howard Coasters. I'm assuming you don't have a coaster Instagram yet, but nah, it's all cool. I get it, because honestly, I just have one social media of everything, besides the brand or the cast or whatnot. But on the Twitter side, at the High Roller C, and for me at West Tower C. But y'all go ahead, catch y'all on the next one. Keep it easy out there. You never know who you'll meet in this silly little hobby. And peace out.
Stay homey.
Stay homey, y'all. Peace.